Okay, so now you are at the balance flow. This station right here is all about input and output. So basically, creation and death. Remember in the last video, I had mentioned that basically when you accept within the light, within your union, here is only the place where you will need to come to an understanding, and it is where you have to come to a point during your orbit where you have to sit with the realization and take inventory of how are you traveling, where are you traveling, looking at your resources, looking at, assessing your union, looking at your orbit and assessing properly what is meant to be configured or it's good to go. There's no really, a visit again to happen for another while because it's been taken care of. But here is where you have to take care of your needs and desires and assess what is to be taken into priority and what's not. And also reevaluate your dream character and the relationship that you hold with it. So here in the balance flow, it is very, very important to understand when you are ascending and descending. So before I really get into this flow, I would like to declare to you how delicate and how much of an order you want to keep here. This station could be either normal to you in your day-to-day routines, or this could be very new to you, or this could be very surprising. So to understand your balance flow, you must understand what is leading you higher and what is leading you to go lower. And this can be either very painful or very, very enriching. You want to keep yourself at a level of the center within yourself that's always not pulling to here, there, extremes, and all of a sudden you're caught up into too many pursuits, or you lack, whatever it is of that nature. Because this is about, the nature you carry, and then the agreement you have with your union. And the only way to comprehend this is to understand the space that you hold, being vulnerable and being something you're not. And so a lot of people find this station very difficult. I will tell you a little testimony. So there was a point in my life where I couldn't comprehend a lot of terms that were just coming to me rapidly every day. And, I was just at the time trying to keep up with my duties as, holding the title of, being a friend, holding the title of working, holding the title of being there for someone, holding the title for family, holding the title for transportation, holding the title for diligence, control, desires, sexual energies. It was just like a complete notion of mixtures that I just couldn't really, I couldn't put it down. And the reason why I couldn't put it down is because I never sat with my union and surrendered and asked, where am I going with all this? Not only did I not ask my union, but I descended so low that I honestly started to hear my union less and less, to the point where I started to take in the demands way over my union. But I'll tell you this, through that descending, I was able to find, the tools, the ways of really saying yes to this dream character and saying no to that other side of that dream character that I said, that's not of me. Maybe a part of me, but it's not something I'm willing to agree to. So I let that, that whole death was difficult at first, because you get into the mindset of grieving, because it's literally, you're losing, you get this whole illusion that you're losing, literally, like if it's like a body part of yourself, but it's not really true, because you're holding on to something you're not. You see? So I finally started to come into terms that all I had to do was to focus on the center, and the center was, what is the whole purpose of my union? What is the agreement? What is the direction? Where is my love with all this? And so when I started to get into that understanding through different healing tools, through different abilities, different encounters I had with people, and it was all for my benefit, But now, through that descending, I was able to understand how far and extreme you can go through death, because death is everywhere here. It's it is just the way. But depending on your perception of how you want to go through that, I won't get into philosophies or religion here, but through that, I was able to, you know, understand this whole spiral and how basically how when I finally went to ascending, what I noticed was a lot of extremes, a lot of heightened sensations, a lot of just desires, a lot of unfinished business, and a lot of like uncontrollable, like, um, you know, energies that um, for a time it seems like, you know, all fun and games, and it's like it's such a heightened perception. But it's not to say here that any of this, like I said, it's good or bad. It's just the fact that when I was so ascended, um, what happens is that it took a lot from me. So I end up giving an extreme amount of my awareness to my surroundings, basically giving everything all up. And I never cared go back to the center, like let's go back, right? I never cared to sit with my union and ask, you know, how come I can't have, you know, this or that, or like, how come, you know, I'm giving all of this away. And it was just a matter of the fact that I had to come into this agreement, like I said, on what am I willing to give and take, you know? So that's more of a heart-based matter, you know? Because it's it's all about that equal give and take here. So I had a lot of years to comprehend that. And I more and more, I think right now this is gonna be something that um this station is gonna be valued a lot more in the upcoming years, because the thing is, it's like, you know, your planet And your civilization needs to understand, where do you stand? On top of that, what are you willing to give and take? What are you willing to contribute and receive? You know? There are a lot of ways where we can, get to the root of all this. But it's about introducing, what is it that you're not. And this is why I tell some people, I'm absolutely not for everyone. And you may not be for me. I may not be the coach for you. I may not be the friend for you. I may not even be nothing to you, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, like I said in another video, we have to be very accepting and just see this for what it is. But we can all, of course, support each other. But even in tribes, you could see this in tribes, you could see this in communities, you could see this in families, depending on which hierarchy you're seeing. But there are levels to this. And when you understand that there are levels, you can only take so much. You can only give so much. You can only lie to yourself for so long. Because time, death will evaluate you at this station. See, I'm not introducing to you something that is going to make you wonder whether, if what's being presented to you is another way of trying to figure out where are your investments. You keep looking over to see if your investments are happening or not. You keep looking over your watch to see if the time is going to tick or not. You keep looking at your calendar to see if the days are adding up. No, I'm not introducing to you that at this balance flow station. I'm introducing to you the concept of the ancient way of you assessing a way of having the control, the acceptance, the love, the recognition, and embrace that you hold creation and death with your union. And there are a lot of techniques and abilities that are very much still not being used properly because maybe you're just not aware yet, or it's just something that you're either afraid of. You have to ask yourself that question. So this is not about black or white. Keep to yourself to that level of how you want to reveal yourself with this union and with your dream character. And the whole going up and down, sideways, forward, backwards, trying to keep up with all different types of forms as well, with all different types of levels of people. There is only so much steps that a man or woman or any other gender can make. Come back to that creation. Okay, so what's going on? You know, you can't make those steps going up, you can't go down the steps. That's fine. Eventually, you will make the steps. There is no pressure. If you want to shine, though, you need to get into that pressure. And that's a very much a high ambition, a high responsibility, and that is just the way. All else doesn't matter. You're drained out of energy because you've orbited around and around. Somehow, nothing has changed. Okay? So, alright, so there you simply said it. Alright, so what's the death of this? You just revealed it to your union. So you're going around and around in orbit. You're losing fuel. You're losing your resources. What planet are you landing on? On top of that, where's the support? Where's your vessel? So then it's okay. Now before you speak with your union upon that balance flow, one of the first things you have to do is recognize nothing is changing. I'm out of balance. I don't know where I'm going. I don't have the support. My fuel has been off. I don't even recognize what planet is even on the map. That's fine. See, your union is going to give you the respect and the love that you so desire, because now you've come into the heart, right? So after you assess in that station, whatever station you're at, but when you assess when you're with your union, you're going to get revealed that information that's for you and how to process. And that is the moment of when to take action with the creation that's called ascending. Now you're going in orbit again. You're going around in your orbit. Doesn't even matter what speed. It's at the speed that you can control with your union. And so when you're at that orbit, that's when you have to remember about the communication and try to reframe on what it is that is going to keep you at the center within creation and death. Input, output, subconscious, conscious, down and up, gravity, floating. And so this is a practice every day. Every day, this is a practice in going around in your orbit, maintaining that flow. See, the dream character is how you define basically your word, yourself with your union. You can reveal that if you would like to do so, you can do so. This is why they have titles, but you do not need to when you are doing about your business with balance and your union. And your union will define the entire path in your orbit. And it will also tell you when it is time to release the destruction of patterns and increase the creation of patterns. It's a sacred flow that you have. We're all unique individuals, but we are not separate from divine. So as you are going through these waves through your orbit, through these fears, through these realities, it's causing a whole effect upon everyone, because that is where the love is here, the harmony here. It's so enriching. I hope that this is something that can bring you clarity and a way of being able to now assess this orbit is now a gift. Thank you.